What is good, guys? We're back from UFC 304. That shit was embarrassing. No, I'm just kidding. It was a pretty good card. Honestly, I went 2-4 out of my 6 most confident bets. My lock of the week didn't hit Christian Leroy Duncan. He ended up getting wrestled by Gregory Rodriguez. That was an option. Overall, I went 9-5 on this card. But without further ado, guys, let's break down Saudi Arabia. Let's have a better record, guys. We're making a little bit of progress each time. Each video is making a little bit more progress, and I'm getting my predictions rates higher and higher each time. So let's see how we do this Saturday, guys. Overall, Tom Aspinall was an amazing pick, guys. I should have locked Arnold Allen or Paddy Pimblett because one of those wins were amazing, bro. Saudi Arabia. I mean, not Saudi Arabia. Abu Dhabi, guys. Here we go. UFC Abu Dhabi. Fight night. Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov. Here we go. We have a bunch of stacked fights, guys. Corey Sandhagen, Umar Nurmagomedov, Shahrukh Magomedov, Marlon Vera, Davison Figueroa, Tony Ferguson, Michael Chiesa, guys. Let's break down the first fight. Sedriques Dumas versus Denis Tiuliulin. In my opinion, Denis Tiuliulin is coming off of a big skid record, 11-9-0. Faces off against Sedriques Dumas, 9-2-0. Sedriques Dumas' last loss was to Nurmagomedov Roziboev, who Nurmagomedov Roziboev lost to Joaquin Buckley, I believe. And Denis Tiuliulin's last 3 losses have been a lot of space in between his losses. Jung Young Park, he lost. Gregory Rodriguez, he lost, who just fought last weekend. And Christian Leroy Duncan. So he lost to both of those guys. Minus 225 for Sedriques Dumas. Plus 180 for Denis Tiuliulin. Russia, United States, 28 years old to 36. Middleweight division, 6'2", 6'1", 79 77. I'm not confident in this pick, but my pick is basing off of how good Denis Tiuliulin is, because Sedriques Dumas has faced a lot of guys like Cody Brundage, I believe, and he's faced he's beat him too. And in my opinion, if you're able to beat Cody Brundage, I know he's not that good, but you're somewhere higher in the rankings than Denis Tiuliulin. And in my opinion, I have Sedriques Dumas to win this fight by unanimous decision, 29-28. But it's going to be a good fight. Majority of Topology has him to win by decision as well. Some people have the KO. Denis Tiuliulin has been KO'd in last 2 losses, but I just think Sedriques Dumas is nowhere near as good, and this is a very low confident pick. Just like the beginning of UFC 304 Bannon, I was very low confident in her, and honestly, it looked like it was a robbery in that fight, so we might see something like that here. I got Sedriques Dumas to win by unanimous decision, 29-28. Next fight, Jai Herbert versus Rolando Bedoya. When we look at this fight, guys, are there fights? I don't know if I'm going to have to... Okay, so when we look at this fight, guys, Jai Herbert had looked very, very good against tougher competition until he got knocked out. So minus 165 for Jai Herbert, plus 120 for Rolando, however you want to call it, Bedoya. 12-5-1 for Jai Herbert, 14-3-0 for Bedoya. Jai Herbert is coming off of a draw, I believe, to Ludwig Klein, and then he's coming off of a loss to Fariz Zaim, but that's a very good loss because he looked pretty good there. Prior to his Ilia Topuria KO, he got Ilia Topuria and dropped him with a head kick, which was really, really nice. And I don't know if Bedoya matches up stylistically like that against to Ilia Topuria again. I think Bedoya gets whooped by Ilia Topuria. And I know it's like MMA math never works, but when you look at both of them fight, 36 years old to 27, that's one of the biggest considerations and factors that you have to take into consideration, because Jai Herbert is very old for lightweight, 155, 170. I believe this fight's going to take place at 155, but Bedoya's he has fought at 170 before, 6'1" to 5'11", 77 to 75. Majority Topology is going Herbert to win, but Bedoya is going to be the taller fighter. He's going to be the heavier fighter, and he's going to be the much stronger fighter in my opinion. I just think that fight IQ, Jai Herbert's a little bit more technical, and he's a little bit better at reading. And I think that he could read in, and let's sneak in some like teeps to the body, and let's sneak in some head kicks, and then try to get him just like you got Ilia Topuria. But I know it's not likely, and he doesn't throw the head kick a lot. But his draw against Ludwig Klein wasn't that bad, and when Jai Herbert's on, and if he doesn't get knocked out, he looks really, really good. So I'm going to take Jai Herbert by decision, 29-28, to win this fight. I think he loses the first round, though. Next fight, Victoria Dudakova versus Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes, man, very questionable decisions for Sam Hughes. I don't know what's going on, bro. Like, I don't know why it's taking so long just to, like, load. It's like this. All right. Here we go. Victoria Dudakova versus Sam Hughes. 8-0-0 for Victoria Dudakova, undefeated. Minus 190 for Victoria Dudakova, plus 160 for Sam Hughes. 8-6-0. Her record speaks for itself. Her last losses are to Pierre Rodriguez, who headbutted some girl, and that girl fucking took the easy way out. Yasmin Judagori, decision unanimous. Sam Hughes is one of those fighters who is going to go to the distance. If she doesn't get finished, bro, she always loses by decision. Victoria Dudakova has a little bit of a better resume, but she's faced a lot of tin cans. Victoria Dudakova, minus 190, 25 years old, 32 years old to Sam Hughes. Strawweight division, 5'5" to 5'5", 67 to 64. 5% of Tapology is choosing Sam Hughes, and it's because of her skill, bro. And most likely, Tapology thinks that this fight goes the distance. Me, personally, I think it goes the distance as well. I just think that Sam Hughes has good boxing, but she's not really good anywhere, in my opinion. She sucks everywhere, and she's not good at all, in my opinion. Her losses, even in her wins, she doesn't look like she's winning that good. Like, she beat Jacqueline Amorim, and that was a good win, but I just feel like she's nowhere near the ceiling and trajectory that Victoria Dudakova can get. And I think Victoria Dudakova gets 9-0 in UFC Abu Dhabi. I keep on saying Saudi Arabia. Let's go Victoria Dudakova to win this fight by unanimous decision, 30-27, 29-28, 29-28. Let's get it. Up the card, Guram Kutateladze versus Jordan Vucenic. Jordan Vucenic is making his UFC debut. He got signed to the UFC fairly recent. Signed his contract against Guram Kutateladze, the Georgian Viking. 12-4-0 for Guram Kutateladze. In my opinion, I thought Guram Kutateladze would have a lot more fights by now, but he's very inactive. He takes a long break after he loses, and his loss to Elves Brener, he didn't look that good. But all that being said, Elves Brener is a beast, and nowhere near the echelon that Jordan Vucenic has faced. Jordan is going to wrestle. He's going to try to wrestle off the gate. And I know a lot of people are arguing that Jordan could get a submission. But in my opinion, Guram Kutateladze is a very good fundamentally boxer. His loss to Damir Usmagulov, split decision. Arguably, I know if you watch that back, he probably lost that fight. And to Elves Brener, he looked gassed and was missing a lot of his shots, and then he got finished. But prior to that, he beat Matus Gamrot by split decision, Felipe Silva, and Cadena by KO. He had a very good record going into that Elves Brener fight, but that Elves Brener fight really dehyped his train, and he took a lot of time off after that Elves Brener KO. 1 year off, so he's going to be fighting a guy who's making his UFC debut. And we're going to see how good he is, guys. This guy's going to be trying to wrestle. Guram Kutateladze is one of the best anti-wrestlers I've ever seen. We saw against Matus Gamrot, he put up a great performance. Very questionable. I mean, it went split decision, so you could argue, maybe anybody could have won that fight, but very good performance in my opinion. He's faced wrestlers before. He tends to get taken down if he gets gassed, but I think overall he should be the better fighter. 32 years old to 28, 155 to 157, 5'11 to 5'9, 72 to 72. He's going to be taller. I think his range, his management of distance, and his boxing, and his teep kicks to the body. Let's get some front kicks, and let's get some kicks on the outside to set up the head kick by Guram Kutateladze. Guram Kutateladze to win this fight by unanimous decision. Majority of Tapology agrees with me, but be careful with these guys who are making their UFC debut, guys, because sometimes they come in and they put the division on notice. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan gets a takedown, but Guram Kutateladze gets right back up. Let's go Guram Kutateladze by unanimous decision, 29-28. Shamil Gaziev versus Dontel Mays. This is the guy who broke John Jones' toe. If you actually pay attention to it, John Jones has been inactive so long just because of Dontel Mays. Shamil Gaziev lost his last fight against Rosenstrike, but no shame in that because it's a top 10 contender. It's just that Shamil looked very gassed in that fight, and his hype train got derailed badly. Minus 275 for Shamil Gaziev. And Dontel Mays is plus 220, guys. This fight screams bullshit, bro. Do not touch this fight with a 10-foot pole. Do not touch this fight at all, bro. I don't care if you, bro, come on, guys. Let's play it safe. Shamil Gaziev is very, very risky. Shamil Gaziev has gotten dropped by Darko Stosic, and then he came back and finished him. Shamil Gaziev has this problem where he tends to get caught way too much in the striking. Like, if he's walking you down, he gets caught way too much in the striking department, and he is a walking punching bag at times, as we saw against Jairzinho Rosenstrike. But when he gets you down, or if he has some success in his boxing, and he's not walking you down that bad, he tends to have a little bit more success than you expect him to. Dontel Mays 11-6-0. His last loss was to Rodrigo Nascimento, who Rodrigo Nascimento just lost to Derek Lewis, I believe. Augusto Sakai lost to as well. And right here, Shamil Gaziev last loss. But prior to that, Martin Boudet, he beat Greg Ruskos. I think Darko Stosic, that fight was funny because he got dropped, but he came back. And it shows that he has some resilience, some. Minus 275 for Shamil, even though he just lost and he was a bigger favorite at that time. 34 years old to 32. 261, 264, 6'4 to 6'6, 678 inch reach to 81. Dontel Mays is going to have a longer reach. Dontel Mays plays this little game where he tries to like run around the cage and then touch you, run around the cage and then touch you. But Shamil Gaziev might have a little bit of trouble chasing Dontel Mays down. But I think Shamil Gaziev should be able to get this done. But I'm not going to go by finish, guys. I know a lot of people are expecting Shamil Gaziev to just finish Dontel Mays. I'm going to go by unanimous decision. And I think it's going to be a very, very controversial decision. I think this is going to be a very, very controversial decision, or it's going to be very obvious and it's going to be very definitive. Nothing in between. Shamil Gaziev makes fights way more closer than they need to be. And if he's overall better than Dontel Mays, he should be able to run right through Dontel Mays. But because it's Shamil Gaziev, I'm very low confident in him. And a lot of people are majority topology are picking by KO, but I'm going to go Shamil Gaziev by unanimous decision. 29-28, maybe KO in the second round. Let's go. Bro, Shamil Gaziev, I'm not touching that, bro. I'm not touching that at all. Muhammad Yahya versus Kauê Fernandes. Guys, this is one of my most exciting fights because Muhammad Yahya is very interesting. As much as I know a lot of people don't like him, he's very, very interesting. But when we look at these fighters face off, bro, it's going to be insane because they are almost identical. 156, 155, 5'9", 5'9", 73 inch reach to 73. Minus 350, though. The odds are very not identical. They're very discrepant. And 8-2-0 for Fernandes. And Muhammad Yahya 12-4-0. I know why the odds plus 260 for Muhammad Yahya. It's because of his skill set. Against Trevor Peake, he didn't look that good. And also, this is his second fight in the UFC. He comes from United Arab Emirates, 30 years old to 29 years old. Guys, majority of Tapology has Fernandes to win by unanimous decision. I think this fight goes the distance as well. That's my... I've probably said every single fight is going to go the distance so far. So, most likely, maybe Shamil gets a KO, but I think this fight is more likely to go to the distance than the previous one. And that being said, it's because Kauê Fernandes has very good kicks. He has a kick to the body, and he has a very good tip kick to the body, but also he has very good head kicks. His head kick KO against Felipe Douglas was amazing in LFA. And also, his loss by split decision to Mark Jakadze. Mark Jakadze just got cut from the UFC because he was boring, even though he won. Mark Jakadze, he is in Octagon now, I believe, and this split decision loss is not that bad considering Fernandes is still in the UFC and Jakadze got cut, but just like Mokaev, so we'll see how this goes. I got Fernandes to win this fight just because his teep kick to the body and his head kick to the head. I think it should be able to set up with the body kicks. He has very good body kicks. And fundamentally, he should be better than Muhammad Yahya in every single striking department and every single striking exchange. It's just that Muhammad Yahya tends to make things work and he tends to land some overhand rights or land a quick left hook on the exchange. But Fernandes should be the overall better boxer and he should have more success to the body and to the head and set up a finish. But I got Fernandes to win this by 29-28 unanimous decision, guys. Let's go Fernandes. Up the card, Alonzo Menifield versus Azamat Murzakanov. Guys, if it takes a little bit to load, that's just because it's a little bit slower on my side, so sorry for that. But plus 160 for Alonzo Menifield. Minus 190 for Azamat Murzakanov. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Let me take it. Okay, I just ate breakfast. My bad. 36 years old to 35, sorry. 205 to 205, 6'0 to 5'10, 76 inch reach to 71. Azamat, we got to talk about this one right here. Tafun Nujukwanwi, or Nachakawi, however you want to pronounce it. I have trouble pronouncing names sometimes. This fight, he pulled it out of the fire. He was losing this fight. He was down on the judges' scorecards, in my opinion, and he ends up coming and showing his resilience and his perseverance, and comes in and gets the flying KO knee. The flying knee KO, bro. This guy was losing on all judges' scorecards, and he comes in, and he comes back strong, and he avenges and he saves himself from losing a unanimous decision. It shows that he's eager to get a finish against Devin Clark. Devin Clark, his dad, was yelling. He was yelling. He was like, yo, come on, come on. He was yelling at his son to keep working. It was actually funny. This guy's undefeated in the UFC. And he comes from Dana White Contender Series. Prior to that, he has three fights in the UFC. Alonzo Menifield, ridiculous performance against Carlos Ulberg. Carlos Ulberg hit a jab, and then Alonzo Menifield just chases him down and then gets caught and put away by KO by Carlos Ulberg. And it's kind of amazing because I've never seen Alonzo Menifield get put out like that. But it shows his fight IQ is not there, and he's more closer to the end of his career than he is to the pinnacle of his career. 36 years old for Alonzo Menifield, 35 years old for Azamat Murzakanov. And he comes from New Jersey, so we got to rub Jersey strong. 205, 6'0 to 5'10, 76-inch reach to 71. That's a very, very big discrepancy in reach. 71-inch reach to 76. Alonzo Menifield can have a lot of success with his jab. Like we saw Bilal Mohammad have success against Leon Edwards with his jab. And he was, even though, the shorter fighter. It's just that sometimes Alonzo Menifield's KO, like, he relies more likely on his power than he relies on his skill set. So that's why majority of Tapology is going for somebody to get knocked out. Somebody gets knocked out this fight, and I think it's going to be Alonzo Menifield. And I think UFC Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, is going to love this, guys. I'm getting confused. Abu Dhabi, let's go. UFC Abu Dhabi. Azamat to get a KO Alonzo Menifield in the second or third round. Minus 190. I'll take the minus 190 any day over Alonzo Menifield. I'll never bet on Alonzo Menifield ever, even if I see him winning the fight. Very questionable decisions, and in my opinion, the worst fight IQ in the UFC. Joel Alvarez versus Elves Brener. Joel Alvarez is the moderate favorite at a minus 120. Elves Brener is the plus 100 underdog. His last loss to Murabek Urubai, he should have had a little bit more success, but he got completely shut out. And in my opinion, it wasn't as bad as Joel Alvarez's loss to Arman Saryukian. He got cut up, was in a pool of blood, and just got dismantled, bro. Bad. Spain versus Brazil. Elves Brener trains with Charles Oliveira, shoot the box, 31 years old, 26 years old. Elves Brener is a younger fighter, 155, 77-inch reach to 72, guys. Me personally, guys, I think Elves Brener is actually a featherweight. I don't think he's an actual lightweight, and I think he could cut down to featherweight. I just think that he doesn't want to, and he's a little bit more comfortable in lightweight. But that being said, you fight a lot of bigger fighters, and you fight a lot of people that come from maybe heavier weight divisions than you. Murabek Urubai has fought at welterweight before, I believe, but he's a lightweight. But Urubai is a filled out lightweight, and Joel Alvarez is one of those filled out lightweights again. 20 wins, 3 losses, and 0 draws. 16 wins, 4 losses, and 0 draws for Elves Brener. In my opinion, somebody gets finished this fight. This fight is definitely not going the distance. And Charles Oliveira can give him some good reads with Joel Alvarez, but I think Joel Alvarez should have success in this fight. Not only should he have success in this fight, but he should be able to beat Elves Brener. I know Elves Brener is coming off of a loss, and you should never count out Elves Brener because he's a dog. His win against Guram Kutateladze is one of the most best performances I've ever seen. But with that being said, he's going to have to struggle with a 5-inch reach disadvantage. And he's going to have to struggle with all that height. I don't know if he's going to be able to take down Joel Alvarez. I think Joel Alvarez needs to wrestle in order to win this fight. I'm going to be taking Joel Alvarez to win this by unanimous decision. Just because I think Elves Brener is tough and he's not going to get finished. If Urubai wasn't able to finish him, Joel Alvarez is not going to be able to finish him. But Joel Alvarez should be able to wrestle. He should be able to win this fight. Hard fought 15 minutes. And win by unanimous decision. 29-28, 29-28, and 29-28. Main card time, guys. Mackenzie Dern versus Lupita Godinez. Mackenzie Dern on a CTE speed run, guys. Jessica Andrade, Amanda Lemos, guys. She's been dropped by Amanda Lemos hard. Questionable decisions. Jessica Andrade, questionable decisions, got KO'd. And then Yan Xiaonan, she lost by decision. But prior to that, she beat Angela Hill by decision, unanimous. We have to pay attention to that Angela Hill win. We have to. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Tisha Pennington, bro. Bro, her real name's Tisha Torres, bro. Come on. Lupita Godinez lost her last fight to Verna Jandaroba, who just beat Amanda Lemos 2 weeks ago. Minus 120 for Mackenzie Dern. Plus 100 for Lupita Godinez. 31 years old to 30. 115 to 115. 5'4 to 5'2. 6'3 to 6'1, guys. Completely identical. I love this fight, guys. Not only do I love this fight because Mackenzie Dern is one of my favorite fighters. Not because of her skill set, but because of how she looks. But Lupita Godinez makes very questionable decisions. If you've watched her last fight against Angela Hill, it wasn't her last fight, but it was her fight against Angela Hill. I know she beat Tabitha Ricci, and that win is very, very good on her resume. But her loss to Angela Hill was stupid. It was stupid, bro. And her loss to Luina Carolina, bro, like, very questionable decisions and very, very low fight IQ. In my opinion, her fight IQ is lower than Mackenzie Dern's. And I feel like Lupita Godinez is going to run into a submission. I wouldn't be surprised if she just fucking follows her guard and just gets subbed by Mackenzie Dern. Very, very close odds. Lupita Godinez just has trouble maintaining top control and avoiding BJJ. I don't know how good she's going to look against Mackenzie Dern in Abu Dhabi, but we have to remember that Mackenzie Dern is a very good wrestler. She was able to wrestle really hard against Amanda Lemos, and she went to decision after she got dropped hard in that fight. And against Jessica Andrade, she got KO'd with a left hook and then a straight right. But, I mean, her wrestling, it's a little bit questionable when she gets wobbled, but I don't think Lupita Godinez is going to wobble her. Lupita Godinez is a very good fighter. She just has very low fight IQ. I'm going to go Mackenzie Dern by submission, and I think she submits her in the second or third round. Majority Tapology is going Mackenzie Dern by decision, but I'm going to go Mackenzie Dern by submission in the second or third round. Guys, give me Mackenzie Dern to win this fight. Very, very low confidence pick, but I'll take Mackenzie Dern to win this fight. Let's go Mackenzie Dern. Let's go. I can't wait to see the grappling exchanges. Oh, my God. Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chiesa, bro. Bro. Look at Tony Ferguson's fucking record, bro. It's all red. It's all red. I've never seen a guy in the UFC still be in the UFC with all of this red. All of this is red. Look at how bad Michael Chiesa is, bro. Michael Chiesa sucks, bro. All red, bro. And, like, Michael Chiesa is one of the worst strikers I've ever seen, bro. Plus 320 for Tony Ferguson. Oh my God, bro. I can't believe I'm even seeing this. Plus 320 for Tony Ferguson, the interim champ. The guy who will always be better than Michael Chiesa. No matter if Michael Chiesa beats Tony Ferguson will always have a better resume than Michael Chiesa. He will always have something that Michael Chiesa will never have, which is an interim belt. And that alone, I know I'm looking in the past, I'm looking in nostalgia, but that alone is better than anything of Michael Chiesa has ever done. Michael Chiesa, 16-7-0, terrible record. He does better at the desk than he does better fighting. Vicente Luque, he lost to submission. Sheen Brady, he lost by decision. Kevin Holland, he lost by the submission. Doris choke. And how long ago was that? 11 months and 3 weeks ago, like almost a year ago. Inactive as hell. Tony Ferguson is a little bit more active. He had more success than Bobby Green did against Paddy Pimblett. Lost by unanimous decision. No shame in that. Paddy Pimblett's very fucking good. And the fact that Paddy Pimblett wasn't able to submit Tony and he submitted Bobby Green shows a lot. Tony Ferguson lost to Bobby Green. He lost to Nate Diaz, Michael Chandler, Beneil Dariush, Justin Gaethje, and Charles Oliveira. 40 years old for Tony Ferguson. 36 years old for Michael Chiesa. 155, 170. Michael Chiesa, I believe this fight's going to be at 170. 5'11 to 6'1, 76 to 75. 27% of Tapology is picking Tony Ferguson. 73% is picking Michael Chiesa to win by decision. It's because Tony's weak. Tony's so weak right now. Like, I don't know why, but he looks so weak. Against Paddy Pimblett, he looked weak. Against Charles Oliveira, he looked weak. Against Bobby Green, he looked weak when he went to the arm triangle. Against Nate Diaz, he looked weak. Like, none of his punches hit or hurt. And they never really had power behind them, but it was his volume that was able to finish. In my opinion, minus 410 is ridiculous for Michael Chiesa, and I really want Tony Ferguson to win and beat this guy's ass and cut him from the UFC just for even, like, accepting a fight against Tony Ferguson, bro. We need Tony Ferguson to win, but I don't think he wins this fight, guys, and it's very disappointing to say this, but Michael Chiesa is going to win a boring-ass unanimous decision, but I want Tony Ferguson to throw up a triangle and get him in a triangle choke in the third round and submit Michael Chiesa and make him tap in Abu Dhabi. The whole crowd would go crazy for that, but maybe I'm dreaming. Maybe I need to wake up. Bilal Muhammad is champion, bro. I don't want to wake up. I don't want to wake up. Michael Chiesa to win this fight by unanimous decision, 29-28, 29-28, and 30-27 on all judges' scorecards. Tony Ferguson, please prove me wrong, brother. Please. Please. Later on in this week, I might sprinkle a little bit on Tony Ferguson. Just because I love Tony, bro, and it's Tony time. And I remember, like, when I first got into the UFC, everybody was making these jokes of, hold on, brother, I'm talking. Or, hang on, brother, I'm talking. Or Tony Ferguson is the type of guy to, and, like, that was such a cool era, bro. And it makes me miss Tony Ferguson and his prime. But I would just love to see him win one more time. Because I've never got to see him win live. Because I'm very new to the UFC. Marlon Vera versus Deiveson Figueiredo. Marlon Chito Vera lost to Sean O'Malley by decision, 50-45. Didn't win one round against him, unless you count the body shot that he landed at the end of the round. Corey Sandhagen lost every single fucking round. I don't know how it went to decision split. This guy Chito loves losing 5 rounds in a row, bro. Chito Vera is the guy who can lose 4 rounds and a half, or can lose 24 minutes and 30 seconds, or 24 minutes and 59 seconds of the fight, and they get a 5th round KO against Dominic Cruz. Chito Vera is the type of guy to lose against Frankie Edgar, and then in the 3rd round get a KO and finish Frankie Edgar. Chito Vera is really cool. Always ends up getting a weird finish at the end, but it's because he's a downloader. He downloads data, kind of like Peter Yan, and then he makes reads, and then he fucking capitalizes off of it. Minus 160 for Deiveson Figueiredo. The God of War, literally. Deiveson Figueiredo, 23-3-1, bro. Holy shit. His last loss was to Brandon Moreno, KO, doctor stoppage. It wasn't a bad loss because he didn't really get finished in that fight, but he did get whooped. And then Brandon Moreno submission. Brandon Moreno is his kryptonite, so thank God Brandon Moreno's not in bantamweight. 31 years old to 36. We have to pay attention because Figgy is going to look old eventually. Maybe he might not look old this fight, maybe not the next fight, but he's going to look old eventually, guys. I know Pereira is older than him and he looks young as daisies, but in bantamweight, you can't get away with being 40 and having success. There's not a lot of bantamweights that get away with being 40 and having a lot of success. But I know he's only 36. 5'8" to 5'5", 70-inch reach to 68. Chito's going to be longer by a lot. Massive discrepancy in reach. And he's going to have long-ass legs. They don't have the leg statistics, but I saw something that Chito Vera has the longest legs in bantamweight. With Sean O'Malley as well. So his teep kicks to the body, his kicks to the around, and his kicks to the head are going to be very good to set up. But I think Deiveson Figueiredo is going to grapple heavy. He grappled heavy against Cody Garbrandt, and he grappled heavy against Rob Font. Both of his bantamweight fights that he has had, he's grappled heavy and he's turned into a wrestler. So that's mainly my priority. And I think he's going to be able to take down Chito, and he's going to be able to do whatever he wants with him for a little bit until he gets a little tired, and then he's going to have to strike with him. And I just hope he doesn't get hit or caught with something hard because Chito is a finisher, bro. And he should be able to finish Deiveson Figueiredo if he hurts him. But Deiveson Figueiredo is my pick to win this fight by unanimous decision. Chito Vera is not really that good when he doesn't get the power. If you take away Chito's power, he doesn't have anything for you. So if Deiveson Figueiredo can neutralize the power with the takedowns, he should be able to win this fight by majority decision, 29-28. 29-28, and 30-27 on all judges' scorecards. Chito Vera should have success early, if not late. We'll see. I can't wait for that fight, guys. Be careful with that fight, guys. Be very careful with that fight. Nurmagomedov versus Michael Olajaychek. I think that fight goes the distance as well. Nurmagomedov versus Michael Olajaychek. Middleweight division. Michael Olajaychek is a BMF. Give the BMF to Michael Olajaychek. This guy fights everybody on short notice. It doesn't matter who. He's ready to fight. He just got his arm twisted, almost like pulled out against Kevin Holland and a month and 3 weeks ago, and now he's back. And who is he fighting? The Bullet, bro. Abu Dhabi is in for a treat because this guy just beat Antonio Tricoli, who stepped in. I feel bad for Antonio Tricoli. He beat Bruno Silva, and he beat that guy, whoever the fuck that guy is. But this is his third fight in the UFC. The Bullet Magomedov is going to be a heavy favorite, minus 275. He's going to be a minus 600 by Saturday, guys. Plus 224, Michael Olajaychek. Michael Olajaychek, massive respect for him because he takes on any fight possible. And he's always willing to fight, guys. Sorry for my dogs, but 30 years old, 29, 185 to 185, 6'2 to 6'0, 73 inches to 74. Magomedov is very, very good. Not only is very, very good, but he is very good at striking. He's not a wrestler. A lot of people think that he can wrestle. He can wrestle, but he is a KO specialist. Not only is he a KO specialist, almost all of his wins have come by finish. He has a very high finish rate. He has won by decision against Bruno Silva, and then Ragozin, he won by decision. But Bruno Silva, he was very close to finishing, and I think he's going to be able to finish Michael Lojacek. Not only do I think he's going to be able to finish him, but I think he finishes him in brutal fashion, and he knocks him out clean in the second or third round. A majority Tapology is having Magomed by KO. Some people have Lojacek by KO. Somebody's going to get KO'd. If you want this fight ends by KO, sprinkle it. I got Sharp Bullet Magomedov to win this fight by KO in this fight in Abu Dhabi. Have the whole crowd go crazy, and then hype us up for the main event. Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov, guys. Corey Sandhagen, the Sandman, 17-4-0 versus Umar Nurmagomedov, the undefeated, undeserved, ranked fight that he gets, bro. Who the fuck did he beat? He beat Al-Makan, and then he gets Corey Sandhagen, bro. Talk about Dagestani privilege, bro. I know this guy's undefeated, bro, but they've been trying to give this guy a high fight in the rankings since he's been in the UFC. The only thing is he's been very inactive in between his fights. 3 years, 6 months. 2 years, 4 months. 2 years, 1 month. 1 year, 6 months. 4 months, 3 weeks. Bro, this fight was supposed to happen like another time, and then it got canceled, and then it happened like Umar pulled out because his cycle on trend didn't work. Nah, I'm just kidding. Corey the Sandman, plus 200, minus 250 for Umar Nurmagomedov, and 32 years old to 28. Bro, this guy Umar's going to look like Bilal, bro. He's going to look ripped as hell out of nowhere, and his head is going to be 2 times bigger, and he's going to be juiced to the grills. 32 years old, and also, who knows if he's going to make weight. Mokaev got passed with that. Like, they just passed him with the towel. They were like, just make weight, bro. They just wanted to cut him from the UFC, though. 32 years old for Corey Sandhagen. 28 years old for Umar Nurmagomedov. 139 for Corey Sandman. 136 for Umar Nurmagomedov. 5'11 to 5'8. 70-inch reach to 69, guys. Look at how even this is. Majority of Tapology has Corey Sandhagen to win by decision. More of the people that are picking Corey Sandhagen have him to win by KO. And the same amount of people have Nurmagomedov to win by submission or decision. So it's pick your poison. Umar Nurmagomedov by submission or decision, or Corey Sandhagen by KO or decision. In my opinion, guys, Corey Sandhagen has faced the top echelon of the division in his losses and his victories. He's faced TJ Dillashaw, Peter Yan. He's faced Yadong Song, who was a very good win, Marlon Vera, and then Rob Font. Also, if you look at his record entirely, he has wins over Mario Batista. He lost to Aljamain Sterling, but he learns how to win in his defeats. Frankie Edgar, awesome KO. Marlon Moraes, awesome KO. John Lineker, very good performance. Rafael Assunção. This guy, Corey Sandhagen, is a technician, guys. And if we're going to look for a kryptonite look, his win over Mario Batista is one of my favorite wins on Corey Sandhagen's resume. If we're looking for a kryptonite for Umar Nurmagomedov, a guy who's going to grapple, a guy who has KOs over Ronnie Barcelos, a guy who has decisions over Nate Mance, a guy who has beaten Brian Kelleher by submission, who is a nobody, a guy who beat Sergey Morzov, who's a nobody. Umar Nurmagomedov is getting Dagestani privilege, and he's getting rushed to the top echelon of the division. Maybe rightfully so, maybe because he deserves it, or maybe because we're in Abu Dhabi and a bunch of Dagestanis just get a lot of privilege and they get to get put on these cards because a lot of these Abu Dhabi motherfuckers have a lot of money. But, in my opinion, Corey Sandhagen is a guy who can perfectly beat Umar Nurmagomedov's kryptonite. I think Umar's going to be able to take him down. Peter Yan was able to take Corey down. Aljamain Sterling was able to shoot off the rip, take Corey Sandhagen's back and submit him with a rear naked choke. So we know that could be a possibility. Umar can submit Corey, and he can finish him early if he just overwhelms him and just tries to finish him fast. But in my opinion, that will be his own mistake because I think that this fight goes the distance. I'm not sure who wins this fight entirely, but I think this fight goes all 5 rounds, and I think that this fight's going to expose Umar. I hope Corey Sandhagen looks on. I hope he doesn't have any injuries, and I hope he doesn't have any issues with the Abu Dhabi time zones and acclimating to the weather. I hope he's already there. Plus 200 for Corey Sandhagen is disrespectful. I don't care who you are, guys. I don't care if you're Aljamain Sterling. I don't care if you're the champ, Sugar Sean O'Malley. Not even Sugar Sean O'Malley would be a minus 250 over Corey Sandhagen. And it's because these guys from Dagestan have so much hype on them, and they have not even fought nearly the amount of competition that Corey Sandhagen has fought. So it's disrespectful that a guy like Umar Nurmagomedov is a minus 250, but it's because a lot of these guys think that this guy is going to just run right through Corey Sandhagen. But trust me, bro, you're in for a rude awakening if you think Corey Sandhagen is just going to lose by finish to Umar Nurmagomedov, the guy who's been training almost 2 years for this fight. Umar Nurmagomedov pulled out the first time, and then he pulled out again. This guy, Umar Nurmagomedov, pulls out when he doesn't feel like he's going to win, and Corey Sandhagen has stepped in on short notice. He stepped in to fight for an interim belt. He stepped in against Peter Yan. He's like been that guy, bro, who's always been there, and he's able to fight anybody. And I think his run to the UFC and his path to the UFC was a lot harder than Umar Nurmagomedov's, and I think that alone will speak to the levels that Corey Sandhagen will be above Umar Nurmagomedov. I know maybe I'm sounding like a casual here, and a lot of people are just going to be choosing Umar to just run right through Corey Sandhagen by submission or decision, but I got Corey Sandhagen to land one of those flying knees, hurt Umar Nurmagomedov, expose this motherfucker, get him in like a reverse triangle like you did against TJ Dillashaw, and hurt him, and then chase him down and win this fight by unanimous decision. 48-47, 49-46, and 48-47 for Corey Sandhagen. But this fight, in my opinion, is very, very tricky, and I'm going to be watching this fight for fun. But I'm going to be sprinkling a little bit on Corey Sandhagen because Corey Sandhagen at a plus 200 is disrespectful. I'm going to be waiting for it to go to a plus 250, maybe plus 300. But in my opinion, after the first round, Corey Sandhagen is going to be a minus 110. And maybe Umar shoots off the rip. But as the rounds get on, this is Umar's first 5-round fight. As the rounds get on, I got Corey Sandhagen to whoop his ass and beat him and punish him for even trying to take this fight and trying to get skip the line. I know Sean O'Malley skipped the line, but he had way more time in the UFC than Umar Nurmagomedov. We've never seen a guy... We have seen guys like this, but they've all been Dagestani guys. Let's go Corey Sandhagen and the Dagestani privilege and knock out Umar Nurmagomedov in Abu Dhabi, or win this fight by unanimous decision, 48-47, 49-46, and 49-46. Maybe, let me repeat that, 48-47, 48-47, and 49-46 for Corey Sandhagen to win this fight by unanimous decision. Let's go Corey Sandhagen. Let me know what you guys think, guys. Umar Nurmagomedov is a beast. Rightfully so. If he wins this fight, it's fair game. But he does not deserve this title shot. I don't care. Not a title shot, but he does not deserve this top-ranking fight, guys. This is a top 5 fight. He's number 6 in the world, and maybe I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, he's number 4. But, bro, he got rushed. He got rushed to the top echelon of the division, and he has not faced one of the top 10 guys, like, other than, like, bro, he should not be fighting Corey Sandhagen, in my opinion, but they just want to maybe rush him to the top of the division. And, in my opinion, I want to see Sugar versus Corey, so give me Corey Sandhagen to win this fight, guys, by unanimous decision. I think Corey might have to hurt him, though, in order to have some success early and have some respect off of the takedowns. Umar Nurmagomedov is going to be punished for a short reach. Let's go Corey Sandhagen. If you guys like this video, guys, drop a like. Comment your favorite video. Comment your most anticipated fight. And comment your favorite underdog for this fight. My favorite underdog, Corey Sandhagen. Let's go. Corey Sandhagen will win this fight by unanimous decision. 49-46, 48-47, and 48-47. Drop a like, guys. Comment your most anticipated fight. And let me know if you're excited for my 6 best bets of the week and my lock of the week. Stay tuned for that. You guys are going to like that shit. We're having a lot more success than we did last week and the week prior. We are hitting almost all of our predictions right, 9-5 in UFC 304. Let's hope we can have a little bit higher success rate. Let's go, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace from the Middle East. Let's get it. Abu Dhabi is going to be fun, guys. Win or lose, guys. Corey Sandhagen is a beast.